This is the Georgia Farm Monitor. Since 1966, your source for state and national agribusiness news, and features for farmers and consumers about Georgia's #1 industry, agriculture. The Georgia Farm Monitor is produced by the state's largest general farm organization, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now, here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Bergamy.
Alrighty then, you heard the names. He's Kenny, I'm Ray. As always, our thanks to you for tuning into the Farm Monitor. In keeping with tradition, we've got a great show for you today.
Yes, we do. Coming up, who produced the best hay for 2018? The contest was a close one, so close that the difference between first and second place was just a single point.
Also on the program, blueberry season is upon us, and that means Marcia Crowley is whipping up some great recipes using Georgia blueberries.
And then later, turning wind into energy. It's a practice that continues to grow here in the U.S., while more and more farmers are jumping on the bandwagon. These stories and so much more, starting right now on the Farm Monitor. Every year, the Georgia Farm Bureau sponsors a competition to promote the production of high-quality hay. The farmers who compete not only get to brag about growing the best hay in Georgia, but they get a great prize as well, as the Monitor's John Holcomb explains.
In Washington County, Mr. Eddie Turner is raking in some benefits after being named the winner of this year's hay contest. He gets to use this brand new Vermeer rake for a year, and he is thrilled to do so.
We've been blessed to be able to make some good quality hay, and we entered that into the Georgia Farm Bureau contest, and I think in the last 3 years we've won third and second and first place.
The contest is put on each year by GFB's Public Policy Department, and those that enter get their hay tested by the University of Georgia for quality, something that is important for producers to do.
A lot of people don't have their hay tested and they really don't know what to have, so it's really advantageous for a producer, whether they're raising for themselves or for the commercial market. It's good to have the RFQ value on their hay to know what they have. So if they're feeding cows, they'll know whether they need extra supplementation, or if they're selling their hay, then they've got something, a number to go on to increase the value of their hay.
Good quality hay is important, especially to Mr. Turner, as he is a commercial hay producer and needs the best hay to get the best price.
We sell all of our hay based on quality, so all of our customers will receive a certificate of analysis for our hay. So we're measuring our hay quality throughout the year through all our cuttings.
A lot of people grow a very good crop, but they're not looking at the quality, they're just looking at the quantity. So we feel that this is our opportunity to promote good quality.
Quality is important, but it wouldn't be a bad thing if there was more quantity. And with this rake, there shouldn't be a problem in that arena.
One of the things that we have the greatest problem with is getting moisture dried down fast enough for us to bale our hay. And this splitter on this particular rake will uncover and fluff the middle of the windrow, that's where all the moisture is lying with a conventional rake. So this rake's going to help speed up our operation. It's a wider rake, and it's also going to speed it up because it'll help us dry faster.
Georgia Farm Bureau partners with Vermeer, which supplies either a hay cutter, baler, or a rake for the winter to use for an entire year.
Vermeer has been sponsoring the Georgia Farm Bureau Hay Contest for over 20 years. We feel this is a great opportunity to promote proper agriculture practices within the Bermuda grass community out here.
They are proud to sponsor the contest, as it gives them a chance to promote quality hay as well as quality products.
This rake that we have presented to Mr. Eddie is a VR 1224. It is a 12-wheel rake capable of raking as wide as 24 feet. We have 3 rakes in this family, an 8, a 10, and a 12-wheel rake to meet the producer's needs. Mr. Eddie cuts high-quality hay and cuts it at a fairly short interval, and he was looking for the 12-wheel rake to give him an extra amount of volume to make good square-shouldered bales.
Reporting in Washington County for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
Thank you, John. In other ag news, the Cherokee County Farm Bureau recently gave students an up-close look at life on the farm as they hosted their annual Heritage Day at Indian Knoll Elementary. There were plenty of stations set up that featured a number of different agricultural activities, from horseshoeing to gardening. It's an event teachers are excited to be a part of, as it exposes their kids to an industry that is so vital to the state.
I just feel like it's opening doors for children who have maybe never been to a farm to be able to see farm animals, understand how, you know, just even the dairy cow that we've seen this morning, to be able to see how they milk cows and process the milk for them to eat and have on their tables. So they have just a fun activity to do and see and learn at the same time.
This is just one of the many events Cherokee County Farm Bureau sponsors in elementary schools around their county throughout the year. Well, pardon the pun if you will, but these days Mountain Sweet Honey in Toccoa is buzzing with excitement as the East Coast's #1 supplier of honeybees is right in the middle of shipping season.
Damon Jones takes a look at how this unique operation got started and why it's important to the entire agricultural industry.
Between all the packing, shipping, and storing, the staff out at Mountain Sweet Honey are busy as, well, bees. And that's just the way they like it, as they will be providing honeybees to 31 different states across the country. It's an industry owner Ray Sivitz has really grown a passion for over the past decade.
My adventure began when I was told that I was going to be signing up for a beekeeping class at North Georgia Tech roughly 9 years ago. And at that point, as we say in the business, I got stung. And I said, boy, this is a lot of science and a lot of technique, and it was mastering science and technique and experience all together to get us to where we are today.
After starting off with just a few hives, Sivitz expanded and opened up a small shop selling honey. However, he quickly realized there was a big need that wasn't being met.
More people came, and before we knew it, folks from Atlanta were asking us for honeybees. And that began the journey in year 2. And now in year 8, we are selling approximately 10,000 hives of bees every season, as well as a full line of beekeeping supplies.
And the reason for all of that demand is the increased interest in the industry over the past few years.
The majority of our sales are to the backyard beekeeper, and they are one hive typically, maybe 2. But then we also provide bees to orchards and various agricultural needs that are out there.
That increased interest from the backyard gardener is beneficial to the agricultural industry as a whole.
Beekeepers are important for pollination. Pollination is highly important to most crops. If they're not pollinated, the crop yield can drop down by at least 33%, if not greater.
If you think the gathering, packing, and shipping all of these bees seems like hard work, you'd be right, as the full process takes the better part of an entire day.
We went out into the fields and began to shake frames into these little boxes called packages, and we weigh them out at 3 pounds each. And then at noon time today, we bring them back into the warehouse, and at the warehouse we insert the queen and the feed to feed them, which is sugar water, and then crate them up, and on the trailer they go.
Despite the long hours, it's a labor of love for Sivitz, as he is more than happy not only to take your order, but also pass on a little advice along the way.
The people I enjoy, we get roughly 7,000 phone calls a season, and it's everything from it's snowing out, how do I put my bees into the hive, to I have a swarm happening, how do I catch it?
Reporting from Toccoa, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
When we come back, some blueberry recipes that are simply out of this world, including an old-time favorite, blueberry cobbler. Meals from the field when the Farm Monitor continues.
The team in the University of Georgia's statewide variety testing program plants and harvests many different crops. On this day at the Iron Horse Farm near Watkinsville, Georgia, cotton was king for the day. Cotton harvesting has come a long way over the years, especially with the introduction of an effective cotton harvester in the early 1940s. Today, UGA Iron Horse Farm Manager and former Variety Testing Program Director John Gassett drives a one-row cotton harvester that the team says works like a tricycle tractor. It's driven backwards. Technicians catch the cotton in mesh bags and organize it in the order it was picked so they can record data from each variety. A subsample of the cotton is pulled for later ginning and fiber analysis. The bags of cotton are then loaded into a trailer and taken back to the program's lab on the UGA Griffin campus. There, the cotton is run through a small gin that separates the cotton lint from the cotton seed. The seeds fall out and the lint is collected and weighed. The lint is then sent to the USDA laboratory in Macon, Georgia for analysis. At the USDA, it is tested for fiber strength, length, and other measures of quality. That information is then published as part of the UGA Peanut, Cotton, and Tobacco Performance Tests report. The UGA statewide variety testing program plants and monitors strands of corn, sorghum, cotton, peanut, tobacco, small grains, and soybeans across Georgia. The results of which varieties perform best each year are published in 4 reports.
Well, I hope you brought your appetite, because this month on Meals from the Field, we have got some tasty blueberry recipes courtesy of Cafe de Marcia, also known as Marcia Ray. Yes, welcome to another edition of Meals from the Field. Joining me, as always, my good friend and partner in crime, Marcia Ray. And as always, Marcia, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Ray.
You can never go wrong with blueberries. Of course, blueberries are in season, and
they're so sweet this year for some reason. I don't know if weather has anything to do with that, but they're extra sweet this year.
Yes, and the crop is looking pretty good so far. And so we've got some chicken breast out here today. We've got some desserts. We've got some healthy salads. I'm going to let you take over and you tell me what we're doing.
The first thing we're going to do, this is a really cool way to cook chicken. Mm-hmm. We're browning it in the, here we go. We left this back here, sorry. All you do is you're going to marinate it, and I'm going to do the marinade while that's cooking a little bit.
Okay.
This is the juice of 2 lemons, which is about 1/4 cup.
Okay.
1/2 cup of olive oil. 1/4 cup of loosely packed fresh oregano, mm-hmm. and 4 cloves of garlic, and a little bit of salt and pepper. That's in there. You mix that up, and you need to marinate this at least 6 hours overnight, preferably. And you know me and marinating in bags. You're going to marinate in here. Always refrigerate it. There we go. Let's see if I can move this without spilling anything.
Do I need to be flipping the chicken while you're doing that?
All right, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
All right. While that is cooking, you're basically just browning the skin side down of any piece of a chicken, but it needs to be skin on, bone in. Mm-hmm. Okay, you're just browning that for about 3 minutes. And that hadn't been there 3 minutes, but you get the general idea.
All right.
You flip it over.
Carefully.
Carefully. At least I didn't send it across the room. No. Or you're going to turn it off, and you're going to put this whole pan in the oven.
Oh, okay.
For like 30 minutes, or internal temperature of 160. I love the way this chicken is cooked.
So you start on the stovetop, and then you transfer it to the oven.
Transfer it to the oven. Very nice. Yes, very nice. And when it comes out of the oven, you can sprinkle feta cheese on top, mm-hmm. fresh oregano, and it's really, really good with this blueberry sauce that we're getting ready to make.
Then you know what our motto is, right? Everything's better with feta.
That's exactly right, or in better. All right, this is 1 cup of fresh Georgia blueberries. Okay. And I'm not going to turn this burner on because we're going to need the space here in a minute. 2 tablespoons of Georgia honey. Lots of Georgia products here today. A tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. And 4 tablespoons of water.
Okay.
And there was a little bit of salt in there. And you're just going to simmer this for about 30 minutes till it starts to become thick. And it's great with this chicken. It's great with pork.
Okay.
It's really good. All right, I'm going to move that because we need this room right here. All right, this you're going to love, blueberry cobbler.
Nice.
This is 2 pints of Georgia blueberries. And I was down in South Georgia a couple of weeks ago, and I cannot believe the new blueberry plants that are going in. All right, this is 2 pints of fresh blueberries, and you're going to mix it with like a 1/4 of a cup of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
This is really, I wouldn't call this your traditional blueberry cobbler because it doesn't have a lot of dough on the top of it, but it's still very good.
Right.
Okay, this is sugar, flour, baking powder. I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla to that. I'm going to add 2 beaten eggs. Let me move my notes. It's a little bit different of a cobbler, but I think you'll like it. It's got a ton of blueberries in it. All right, that's 2 eggs beaten. And then you're going to cut in, which is not real fun to do on TV, so we're going to pretend a stick of butter.
Okay.
Okay, you're basically just mixing all that up together.
Just mush it down.
Just kind of mush it down, or if you've got 2 knives or a pastry cutter, works really well. And the reason I really like this cobbler is it's not too sweet. You can always add more sugar to the blueberries if you want to. And you're just going to spread this evenly as possible over the top. Let's see, that's probably good enough.
Don't want to use a mixer because the mixer would take it all over the place, wouldn't it?
The mixer would take it all over the place. And you really kind of want that lumpy consistency.
Yeah.
A cobbler is not perfect like a pie.
Right.
There can be blemishes in a cobbler.
Okay.
You're going to evenly spread that over the top of this. Let's see if I can get that so that you can see it.
It smells good.
It is good, and like I said, it's not too sweet. I like sweets, but not in your face sugar buzz, you know.
Right. And you just mix all that together.
Mix all that together, and you evenly spread it as best you can on top of this, and you bake it at 350 for about 20 minutes, and you really have to watch it because it will burn.
Yeah, and here's the finished product here, you see, very nice. Got some garnishes on there, some little blueberries on top, very nice. And we've got the chicken finished product over here as well. Some blueberries just went missing.
That's all right.
And you can, you made a side salad over here. You can
I made
mix
a salad, and the salad dressing will be on the website. I'm glad you said that. It's just a basic vinaigrette. And the salad's got Georgia pecans, Vidalia onions, Georgia apples, feta cheese again, and whatever kind of greens that you like. Or you can serve it with your favorite salad dressing, but this will be on there. It's really good.
Okay, and of course that website you can go to is farm-monitor.com. Everything is there for you in detail. In fact, all the recipes dating all the way back to when Marcia and I first started this.
5 years ago.
Or on this, yeah, almost 5.5, yeah, 5 years ago. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, Marcia, as always, good to see you.
Thank you,
Thank
Ray.
you so
See
much
you
for
next
everything.
month.
And we will see you guys next month.
Ray, Marcia, thank you so much. Up next, the rise of wind power in the U.S. and the landowners who say the positives outweigh the negatives.
So I do site visits, homeowner visits, work with farmers as well as work with homeowners if they have any questions or concerns about their gardens, their lawns, trees, insect ID. I'm there to answer those questions for them. In Dougherty County, we have a teaching garden program at 13 of our 14 elementary schools. We started that program back in 2014. The school nutrition director came to me and he asked for my assistance in planting some gardens at the schools. If you would like to have a career in extension working with the University of Georgia, you have to have a passion for the outdoors, a passion for helping people first and foremost, because there's nothing better than having someone come back into your office and said that recommendation you made helped out a lot. So if you are a people person, if you like the outdoors, working with farmers, career in extension would be great for you.
Finally this week, from our friends at Missouri Farm Bureau, comes the story and the history behind the Rock Creek Wind Project. It's a project started in November of 2017 that encompasses approximately 30,000 acres and involves around 100 landowners.
And wind farming is becoming more and more popular. According to a recent report by Moody's Investor Service, as of January, at least 400 counties in 41 states had wind farms. As you're about to hear firsthand, the benefits of having one on your property seem to outweigh the negatives.
I farm here with my father and my son, 1,750 acres. We've farmed here since 1920. But here in the last year, the Rock Creek Wind Project was built here, and 150 windmills went up in the area, 9 of them on us. It's like anything else. You know, I have 15 of them within a mile of my house. Do they make a noise? Yes, they do. You can hear them run, but it's like living next to a highway or a railroad track or anything else. After a couple weeks, I don't even hear them anymore. As a landowner, it's nice when the checks show up in the mail, and the checks are substantial. During the process, we had lots of community meetings. Farmers would get together in shops and talk, and what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I think the main thing on this was communication between the neighbors. Taxes are paid on these, and right now, just on this one project that came into our area, it's 150 of them, 137 of them are in Tarkio School District. That is going to translate into $650,000 more every year to Tarkio School District without us having to raise taxes at all. Atchison County, there's less than 6,000 people in the county, and I think everyone up here is just happy to see anything come. Not very often does a company show up and drop a $500 million project in your county. Do I worry about what's going to happen 25 years from now? Yes, I do, but we need to think about what's happening right now. If we sit around for 25 years and don't do anything because something might happen in the future, nothing's going to happen right now.
I got involved when some county members came to me, and Farm Bureau members, and said that they had some concerns regarding the wind turbines and what that would mean in terms of property rights and land value and things like that. Yeah, ultimately what we would like to see is a task force at the state level that would examine issues from DNR to conservation, Department of Transportation, even take a look at county commissioners and how they handle things, zoning versus unzoned. We have a township form of government here in our county. That plays another role into it. What are we going to see down the road in decommissioning? What is that going to look like? The taxation of it. Where at the state level does the state assessor take a look at wind turbines? What happens if the wind turbine company moves out of the area? Is the landowner responsible for that in terms of property taxes? So at the annual meeting in December, we did go through the resolutions process, introducing the idea of a task force and a moratorium to just kind of take a time out and take a break and see what these issues mean long term. And that was adopted by the delegate body, and now we're just hoping that something would move forward legislatively at the state level.
I tell a farmer that has a wind company approach them, check the contract, make sure it's what you want, because that's the key to this. Is we looked at the contracts very closely and made sure we were taken care of. And then you have to ask yourself, you're going to give some things up, but what you're going to give up and what you're going to gain, you have to weigh those two things, and I feel we've gained more than we've lost in this process.
Yeah, pretty amazing how fast this industry is growing, and according to the American Wind Energy Association, they estimate there's around 54,000 wind turbines in 41 states. They say that's enough energy to power 27 million homes. Very cool. And on that note, it is time for us to send you on your way.
But first, a reminder for all the latest ag info regarding food, grain recipes, and what's happening down on the farm. Be sure you check out our Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest pages. You'll stay informed and see what's up in the world of farming, plus with us here on the show.
Take care, everybody. We will see you next week right here on the Farm Monitor.
As always, have a great week.